For 2 decades, William Lee accompanied George Washington nearly everywhere. As his enslaved manservant or valet, Lee assisted his master with many tasks, from delivering messages to laying out of clothes to tying a silk ribbon around his hair. Washington's step-grandson described Lee as muscular, athletic, and an excellent horseman. According to Washington's financial papers, William Lee arrived at Mount Vernon in 1768. Washington purchased him from Mary Lee, a wealthy Virginia widow, for £61, 15 pence sterling. Lee was described as mulatto, or mixed race, meaning he was probably the son of an enslaved mother and a white father. Lee served with Washington throughout the Revolutionary War. He was responsible for organizing the general's personal affairs, including his voluminous papers. As the attendant to a prominent figure, Lee became a minor celebrity. In a recollection of Washington, visitors at Mount Vernon occasionally sought out the famed body servant of the commander-in-chief. Spending more than 7 years together during the intensity of war seems to have made Washington and Lee's relationship especially close. Washington's views on slavery shifted significantly during the war. He emerged with a newfound abhorrence of slavery and a commitment to neither buy nor sell slaves to avoid separating the enslaved families. Washington noted in his diaries that in the mid-1780s, Lee endured several accidents that severely damaged both of his knees. Lee insisted that he was well enough to continue as Washington's valet. However, it soon became clear that he was no longer able to do so. Lee was reassigned to work as Mount Vernon's shoemaker. It is unclear and perhaps impossible to know whether Lee's devotion to Washington stemmed from a genuine affection or the desire to maintain a position of relative privilege within the enslaved community. Washington certainly believed the former. When Washington died, William Lee was the only slave freed immediately in his will. Washington provided Lee with an annual allowance of $30 for the rest of his life, noting, "This I give him as a testimony of my sense of his attachment to me and for his faithful services during the Revolutionary War." According to 19th century sources, William Lee remained on the estate until his own death in 1810 and is believed to be buried in the enslaved cemetery at Mount Vernon. To learn more about the lives of the enslaved community at Mount Vernon, you can visit mountvernon.org/slavery.